Good day, YouTubers. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Today we want to look at, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry drug use, whether legal drugs or illegal drugs, because it's exceptionally easy for Meghan and Harry to get legal drugs. I'm certain that there is a doctor, a royal doctor in the house. The Queen is 93 years old, so there's it's very easy for them to get legal drugs, and that's the primary way that people get drugs. This is Meghan Markle from the show The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down, okay, where she played, someone who takes drugs and drinks a lot and lives a crazy lifestyle. Let's read some examples that may indicate possible drug use. Prince Harry and Oprah Winfrey to make a wellness TV show on Apple. Okay, I think this is a disaster for Harry. Harry is the executive producer. This is from April 2019, so not that long ago, but it's already August and we've not seen anything about it. So he might have backed out. In 2017, Prince Harry speaks out on depression. Will it help break the silence around mental health? He talks about the mental torment he underwent after the sudden death of his mother, Diana, in 1997. I believe she was murdered. Okay, and the cognitive dissonance. Okay, the Charles is the husband of Diana, and he's going to be saying things like, "We love Diana so much." And I did a reading on that, and it looks like MI5, MI6 was involved, and it's a murder. Okay, and so there's a real disconnect between what people are saying and what Harry sees with his own eyes, and that's why you go on these medicines. I had an aunt, who was schizophrenic, and that was the case with her. She was on my mother's side, and the people in the household were very, very cruel to her, very cruel. But they're always saying things like, "We love you," "Aunt Julia, we love you. You're my sister. We love you." But the actions were so different, and I always felt that was the reason that she would take the medications, because she could not reconcile in her mind the actions and the words, because the actions didn't match. Okay, so Meghan Markle also plays a bed-hopping, drug-taking party girl in the very racy TV movie she'd probably rather forget. So she played Dana in the show, which lasted only one episode. Someone has purchased that recently, and they're going to put that back out. Okay, Meghan's dad did coke. Thomas admits to taking cocaine while working in the film industry. Prince Harry, quote, "I took drugs." Back when he was 16, Prince Harry was ordered to visit a drug rehabilitation clinic after he confessed to smoking pot and heavy drinking. Okay, and it was the Featherstone Lodge Rehabilitation Center in Peckham. Okay, in addition to this, Meghan was a yacht girl. At her marriage to Trevor Ingleson, they were married in Jamaica, and they gave out 200 bags of pot to the guests. Okay, those are illegal drugs in the United States. Okay, as for Harry, there's pictures of him doing naked billiards in Vegas. What's that? That's a binge. Okay, Harry was binging. Definitely on alcohol, probably also illegal drugs. He went to rehab. He admits to psychological issues following the death of Diana. Some other things that we've seen recently: the 10 Commandments of Frogmore, which they completely deny. Who would do that? Who would put out those ridiculous rules? Well, Meghan and Harry, probably Meghan. Okay, the privacy lockdown. They're always screaming privacy. Okay, people who use drugs, and I dated a woman she was on the antidepressant drugs and then she was on the illegal drugs. I didn't know any of this. She was on constant privacy lockdown because if you found out anything about her, she was going to kill you. Okay, and I didn't know this until I got in, and then I couldn't get out. Okay, and that's how Meghan in particular is acting. Everything is privacy lockdown. Okay, she doesn't want you to find out any of her secrets. She just was on Vogue. She doesn't want to talk about herself personally at all because then you'll put the pieces together. She doesn't want to talk about Harry. She doesn't want to talk about the baby. This is how, in my experience, this is how people on drugs act. Okay, the green tent dress at the polo match and then Harry did the dip for 48 hours. That was a cry for help. Meghan was stating by what she was wearing that she's falling apart and Harry needs to save her. What did Harry do? Harry dipped out for 48 hours. He's like, don't die. Okay, these are signals that I'm watching. So it's a big topic. There's a lot of ways to cover this. Let's see what we can get. Let's do Meghan and Harry. Drug use of any kind, prescription or otherwise, because it's so easy for them to get prescription drugs. It's just so easy. And I'm sure they're going to lay a base of prescription drugs and add on top of that illegal drugs if they're doing illegal drugs. But the primary thing will be prescription drugs because it's just so easy. So Meghan and Harry, let's try to look at them individually. How are they using drugs? Are they on drugs, prescription or otherwise? Meghan, Harry. Oh my, okay. What's that? Okay. Okay, so right off the bat here, Harry is showing some drug cards. This is the card of addiction. 6 spades, a bad relationship with an addiction. Okay, the incubus succubus comes. It lays on top of you and it sucks the life out of you. So an addiction, it sucks the life out of you. It lures you. It feels like it's giving you. You're chasing the high. Okay, so this is an addiction card. Ruler, water into wine. This is a drunkenness card. This is an addiction card. So Harry is showing on his side both addiction and drunkenness. 14 and 13, 27 cross. Cross can just be burdens. He's had problems with addiction and drink all of his life. Okay, cross is also very permanent. Addiction and drink rules his life. Wow. That could say that addiction and drink really dominate his life. Okay, on Meghan's side, Star of Bethlehem is a drugs card. Okay, you shoot something into your veins and it just goes everywhere. Star of Bethlehem, there's a million stars in the sky. Cross, marriage, 14, 15, 4 clubs, opportunistically, a little bit, mustard seed, just a little bit in the marriage. And so hers are much better cards, but she may be using, let's just ask, is this 7 hearts? I think she is more of a party. She uses it for partying. Harry seems a bit more hardcore. Yeah, she seems, like a social drinker, a social drug user, doing what is socially acceptable. Okay, so the prescriptions are Oxy and Adderall. These are oxycodone and Adderall. Both of these are depressants. Both of them calm you down. Oxy is the back medication, and this is, all over the United States right now. I know people who have taken a lot of Oxy, and my impression of them is that their brain turns off, and they just act on pure impulse, and they become just like rage monsters, they're not able to think things through, and so they're always just acting very aggressively on impulse, and they become like cartoon characters, in my opinion. So something like the 10 Commandments of Frogmore. That is just cartoonish. That is so dumb. I can't believe you do that. Okay, very impulsive. That's the kind of thing that someone on Oxy would do. So let's take a look at prescription drugs for the both of them. Or is there a lot of use of prescription drugs? Prescription. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Okay, 8 spades is the sickness card. A continuing sickness, a continuing treatment of a continuing illness. Sun is a yes card. 9 clubs is official and doctor. Prescription, very official. 12, 13, 4 hearts, people close to them. So the doctor is in the house. So yeah, actively prescribing drugs by the in-house doctor on a continuing basis. So they're going all Michael Jackson here. You know, Michael Jackson had his own doctor, and that guy was convicted of contributing to the death of Michael Jackson, and he's surely dead. I forget that guy's name. Okay, what about illegal drugs? Okay, is there a lot of illegal drugs? Oh, and we have this. We have 4, which is Ace of Spades. Lovers and broken relationships. So the relationship is bad. So Harry especially is turning to drugs. Meghan looks much more like a party girl. Okay, she only takes drugs for partying in social situations. That's a much better situation. Okay, are they using illegal drugs? Okay, what are they? Are Meghan or Harry using a lot of illegal drugs? Okay, alcohol is legal. Prescription drugs are legal. Okay, illegal drugs like cocaine. I don't even know what they are. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of different ones you can use. Illegal drugs. Okay, roses and butterfly are very light. These are party cards. Okay, when they're partying, the man and the woman will, yeah. So 25, 28, 7 spades. Secret. Okay, so yeah, secrets illegal, hidden. So yeah. When they're partying at parties, you know, Harry just went to this barefoot Illuminati meeting in Italy. That's the kind of place where they would take drugs. Everybody's taking drugs. You know, we're walking around barefoot and virtue signaling and spending a lot of money. Sure, I'll have some too. That's where they're going to be taking their illegal drugs. It's a party thing. Okay, and let me remind you that they were kicked out of Kensington Palace for several reasons, but the French ambassador who lived right next door to their cottage, okay, was like, oh yeah, we miss Meghan and Harry and their all-night parties that would go until 5 a.m. What's happening there? Are they taking drugs? How do you stay up until 5 a.m.? Okay, alcohol is a depressant. Are you drinking your alcohol? Are you drinking your alcohol with Red Bull to stay up? Or are you taking other drugs, you know, to counteract the depressant quality of alcohol? Okay, so they're big partiers. Okay, they do take illegal drugs when they're partying. Okay, because they're just there. Okay, is Harry on antidepressants? Okay, so Meghan is coming out pretty good. Harry has more of a habit. But they're both fairly clean, you know, they're party people. And that's okay. Okay, because even in the Bible, you know, you have these feasts, and people didn't drink at all normally. Okay, but during the feasts, they were encouraged to, there was wine and they could let go, and, you know, it was a time of excess where they eat a lot, they drink a lot, they get maybe drunk a little bit. But these are only during specific times, 3, 4 times a year, and that's it. And nobody touches alcohol the rest of the time. So that's kind of the biblical model. This model where you can have all the alcohol you want anytime you want, that's a little peculiar. That's maybe excessive. Okay, so the party model of occasionally letting loose is probably psychologically helpful, healthy. Okay, is Harry on antidepressants? Is he currently on antidepressants? Because he's doing this Oprah Winfrey thing, and I sure hope that he doesn't do it, but he's apparently executive producer. I haven't heard anything about it. Is Harry on antidepressants? Crossroads. Oh, interesting. Okay. Because the most serious drug user I ever knew was a woman that I was dating, and her baseline was on antidepressants. She was on antidepressants. So 24 hours a day, she was under the influence of these antidepressants. And I didn't know this, okay? But on top of that, she would supplement that with a constant bunch of illegal drugs, which were the back pills, the Oxy. So she was on antidepressants and Oxy, and she was the most drug-addicted person I've ever known or met. And she was like not human. Her behavior was not human. She was just pure impulse and just absolutely violent and just completely terrifying to me. And I think she couldn't see it at all. She couldn't see the weirdness of her behavior at all. Okay, so these antidepressants, and by the way, I don't take anything. I don't even take aspirin. Okay, 20 years ago, I had cancer, and they kept loading me up with all these drugs, more drugs, more drugs, more drugs. And I realized that I had survived the cancer, but these drugs were going to kill me. And so one day, I just threw out all the drugs, and I wouldn't see that doctor anymore. And I just don't take anything. Nothing. Not even vitamins. I don't take anything. And I'm in probably the best health of my life right now, and I'm freaking old. Okay, at this point, I'm old. Okay, so is Harry on antidepressants? Crossroads, Mother Earth, roadblock. There's a blockage in his system, okay, and his mother, Diana, died. And she was murdered. 10 and 12, 22, 6 diamonds, many people. 9 spades here is like a depression card, full stop. Conflict and full stop. Depression is like internalized anger. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it. And you're just stuck. 9 spades, you're just stuck in this circular loop of conflict. Stuck. So Harry is depressed. And it's primarily because of his mother. And yes, he is on antidepressants. He is depressed. Let's find out if Meghan is on antidepressants or anything like that. I suspect no. But her behavior is also erratic. The green tent dress, she was definitely telling Harry, and that baby, I can't believe that's a real baby. How do you walk around with a baby in the hot sun for all those hours and hold the baby in the same position and the baby never moves or complains? Other readers are saying that's a real baby. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Okay, because if maybe Meghan smells nice, but if you carry me around like that for all those hours in the hot sun, I'm going to get burned and I'm going to wiggle around and I'm going to say, look, you got to change positions. Okay, is Meghan on antidepressants? Finger of God, strength. Oh boy, there's a 10 spades hiding there. Okay, so rooted and possibly baby, outside circumstances and foundation. 11 and 11, 6 diamonds, all the people reacting to the devastating, 4 clubs, reacting to the devastating outside finger of God, something imposed from outside on her foundation because of the baby and the perception of all the people. So if she's on antidepressants, okay, so Ace of Mustard seed is pill that goes throughout the body. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because of all the current stress, Meghan is on some kind of pills. Okay, she is getting prescription pills. Okay, to help her deal with the stress of, this rolling PR disaster that is just out of control. And the latest thing is the Vogue issue where she's accused of plagiarism. Okay, so she is definitely, so she's taking something, finger of God, to help her be stable. These are very stable cards. Because it's a disaster, she's reacting to the disaster and she's having trouble coping. So I don't see this as antidepressant. I see this as more calming her down. Like to help her be stable, very stable and regal. Okay, which she's not doing very well. She's not following any of the rules, so she's not terribly regal. She's always being controversial, which is creating so many problems for her. Literally, she can just smile and be beautiful and show up and wear the right clothes and not say anything, and everybody will just love her. And that's specifically what she's not doing. Okay, she very easily could have talked about Harry and Archie and royal life and just been very light in her exposing of everything, and everybody would have loved it. But she went a much more aggressive route, okay, with the virtue signaling and the body positivity and the trans acceptance and all that. That's a much more aggressive route. So she's taking something to calm herself. She's taking something to calm herself down. Interesting. So this is a pretty good overview. We've got an overview here. Interestingly, I felt coming into this that Meghan is the lockdown person. Okay, and the person who I knew who was on, and I dated this girl, she was on antidepressants and the Oxy. She was on constant lockdown in her entire life. That's what I see Meghan doing. Okay, Meghan is controlling to a degree that is absolutely suffocating. Okay, and that's the behavior that the woman that I dated, that's the behavior that she exhibited because she was taking illegal drugs. She was on a lot of drugs, and she didn't want anybody to know. And if you found out anything about her, that she likes, peanut butter sandwiches, she'll come after you to kill you, because you might figure out by finding out that she likes peanut butter sandwiches, well, then the knife was left on the kitchen table and she licked the knife before she put it in the sink, and next to the sink there's a bottle of pills in the cabinet, and then if you pull those bottle of pills out, oh my God, they're Oxy. It's like that. She was just constant lockdown. That's what Meghan is like. Meghan is just completely on lockdown. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Harry, this can say that Harry has some real issues with addiction, both alcohol and drugs. Harry has actual addiction issues, okay, on a continuing basis. And the ruler, this can rule his life, okay, in 14. And it's his whole life. His whole life he's kind of struggled with addiction. And he may be that kind of a person. Okay, there are people who just really struggle with addiction. They struggle with coping, and then they turn to alcohol and drugs to cope. Meghan, this is pills and going throughout her body. And yes, she's being treated. She's on prescription drugs, and the relationship is not going very, very well. But Harry, it's drink and illegal drugs. Harry is more dominant in Harry's life. Harry has more of a problem with this than Meghan does. Meghan, it appears, is on some prescription drugs. Okay, what about prescription drugs? Yes, they're treating illnesses on a continuing basis very officially, and there's a doctor in the house. Hey, can I get some, can I get some of that ADD medicine? Yeah, but I just gave you 2 bottles yesterday. Yeah, well, I took all of them. Okay, so what about illegal drugs? They're party animals, okay? Harry and Meghan, this is when they're partying. Yeah, sure. Let's do a couple of lines. Is that Colombian gold? Yeah, let's try that. These are party favors for them. So that's primarily where they're doing like the illegal drugs. It's just partying. Google Illuminati stuff. Okay, is Harry on antidepressants? Yes, he definitely is. He's really stuck and there's a conflict, and it's because of his mother Diana, because she was murdered. Okay, and nobody's going to say that in the house. Oh yeah, we murdered your mother. Nobody's going to say that. Okay, so is Meghan on antidepressants? I don't see that. Okay, I see Meghan is on prescription drugs, and it's to calm her down. It's to keep her solid on an even keel. Okay, so they're both kind of using drugs a little bit. Interestingly, Harry struggles more with drugs, and Meghan is much more moderate, but she is on, like the wealthy ladies would take things to calm them down, like Xanax. She's on something like that, or the ADD medicine, which is the new Xanax. Okay, and I forget what that's called, Adderall. Okay, they don't take Xanax anymore, they take Adderall to calm them down. And that's what Adderall does. It's supposed to calm you down. So they're both taking some drugs. Okay, and Harry has the bigger issue with drugs. And Harry is on antidepressants. And I see Meghan taking, calm me down drugs. That's your royalty today. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.